Okay, this is good. How many mystery genre writers does it take to change a single light bulb?
I don't know how many.
2. One to screw it almost all the way, and the other to give it a surprise twist at the end.
Oh, I love that. Hi, I'm Reba Hervis, Artistic Director at Overshadowed Theatrical Productions. Welcome to this week's episode From the Wings with me and Rebecca Leland.
Hey guys.
Thank you so much for joining us this week. We are super excited to talk about not one, but two plays, and not one, but two theaters. Recently, I had the opportunity to go to Wisconsin because we're checking out our little resort area that we might have a little retreat up there at some time. And it was beautiful. First of all, it's Door County.
Oh, and fall.
Who doesn't love Door County in the fall,
Beautiful.
right? So as we were going, we're like, okay, well, what is there to do up there in the fall? Because actually we went about 2 weeks after everything kind of shuts down up there. And we discovered that there are 2 theaters. And so we went to 2 different theaters and 2 different productions.
How fun.
Which again, as you guys know, I'm kind of checking out what are we going to do in our season for next year.
Yep.
The Larsons did all the research and then they said, okay, we found this company called the Peninsula Players.
Peninsula Players.
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about them. So it is just so amazing what they do. Like, those of you who follow me on Instagram might have seen that I took a little picture of a fire in the lake, and I said it's so exciting when people can do theater anywhere.
Yeah.
This started in the woods.
Oh, my word.
And so when you walk up, they want everybody to come early so that, because they have a beer garden.
Cute.
And there's this huge fire pit. There's a lot of rocking chairs where you sit by the lake and you just can drink hot chocolate or whatever and look at the lake and watch the sunset.
Okay, beautiful.
When it originally started, there were no walls around the theater. But now as time has gone, they have built walls up. But they told us all to make sure that we dress warm because sometimes they have the walls open. So they're made in a way that when the weather is nice, you have no walls and you're just literally sitting out in nature
in the woods.
And watching this. It is so beautiful. Like they hang all these lights from the trees. And so you feel like you're in Midsummer's Night's Dream or something.
I was just going to say
it's
that.
so beautiful. I really want to go back and see it in the summer because it was charming and beautiful.
You would totally go back.
I would. They were doing a play that is by Agatha Christie. Now we all know I was just in
Murder on the
Orient Express. I have to be honest, I'm not a huge Agatha Christie fan.
Okay, watching it or reading it?
Either.
Okay, do you like murder mysteries?
I love murder mysteries.
Interesting. So it's literally the way she writes.
I think so. So I did read Murder on the Orient Express, her book, several times in preparation for my role this year. And I think I enjoyed it a lot more every time I read it.
But you had a purpose for it. Like you wouldn't just sit down and read it to read it.
I would not.
Okay. So did you go into this play thinking, not sure if I'm going to like it?
Well, I'd heard a lot about it. So the name of it is The Stranger. And from what I understand, it has been a lost work of art.
That is fun.
So I think one of the things I don't like about Agatha Christie mysteries is that everybody has seen them.
Okay.
So a lot of people have seen Death on the Nile. A lot of people have seen Murder on the Orient Express. And you know the outcome. So you know what is going to happen. Sure. And I don't like that. Yeah. And I also am somebody who can kind of figure out a little bit, which is why the surprise twist, I love surprise twists. I would rather watch, read, listen to something that catches me completely.
And that's kind of the point, right? So you would say, that's your goal in murder mystery.
And I do think Agatha Christie does that. Do you agree? She has an energy, a surprise twist. And her characters are complex. Yes. But there's just something about her.
People know them.
I also, to be perfectly honest and transparent, I don't really like British stuff.
Fair. You've said that. British comedy, British writers.
So it could be just it's that different. It's that instead of the other. This is what I looked up before I go. The Stranger is a 3-act play written by Agatha Christie, which is an adaptation of one of her short stories, which was published in 1924.
Wow.
The play of 3 acts was never published or performed in her lifetime, but has been reliably established as having been written at least by 1932. So we know it's that old. So according to a researcher, Julius Green, 2 copies of the script were in her archive, which had a typist stamp dated March the 10th, 1932. So we know it's about that old when they found it. So the play script was used together with the short story as the basis for this play, which in 1936 was entitled Love from a Stranger. It has now been changed to The Stranger. It remained unpublished and unperformed for a long time, but Samuel French, which is one of the publishing houses that we have to go to, published it in 2017. Wow, it received its world premiere in the professional theater world when it was staged in Saratoga, New York in 2019. Wow. And then the UK premiere was just recently in 2021 at the International Agatha Christie Festival. So, all of that to say it is brand new, which does intrigue me for my season next year. Yes. Because I will tell you, I loved this play. I did. I loved it. So this is what it says on the website. Be careful what or who you wish for. Enid questions her 7-year-old engagement and is looking for a bit of spark in her lackluster life.
Enid.
Enter Gerald Strange, a handsome and charming gentleman who shares her longing for adventure and may be the man to sweep her off of her feet. Is Gerald the answer to her wishes or a path to disaster? This recently discovered work is Agatha Christie's own adaptation of her short story. In this intimate psychological thriller, the Queen of Mystery reminds us that not everyone is who they seem.
Oh, that seems fun.
Isn't it great?
It doesn't give anything away, but it intrigues you.
Sets you. So we meet her. She has 2 women in her life that are constantly trying to speak truth in her and saying, I don't know if you really love this guy.
After 7 years.
Maybe you shouldn't marry him. And somebody else going, I don't know what's wrong with you. You should get married. So they're speaking truth in her, right? And then she's getting ready to rent out her flat.
Okay.
And enter Gerald Strange, as it talks about right here, right? And he comes in and there's this instant connection. And you can feel the audience being like, I don't know.
Because we just listened to the friends and we don't really sure. We care about her now.
Right. And we're like, well, do we want her to find love? Yes, we want her to find love.
But Strange is feeling...
And he's good looking and her fiance comes in later and
a little derpy.
Nerdy and he's dorky. And so you're like, oh, of course. And so you root from him. But the whole audience, like I could hear people around me going, I don't trust him. I don't trust him, which I didn't either. But I'm like, I don't think this is good.
Wow.
Well, I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about it, but it starts to unfold in a way that you realize that the guy might be a criminal. At least they want us to believe that he is a criminal.
Okay.
And so she starts to uncover different things. And so the whole audience is now going, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. But I'm not going to tell you the rest of it.
Wow, it's that good.
Is that good?
Wow.
So I feel like that's stuff that you can be like, oh, that's predictable. I knew that was going to happen. But it's what is added to that in the second act.
Is the last
and the
twist.
I am telling you, I liked it. But in the last second, there's something that happens that I literally went,
wow.
I have to do this play.
Wow.
Like literally, I love it because nobody knows it.
I was just
gonna say, unknown.
It's the intrigue. Okay, it's a murder mystery, but the intrigue is the never before. It literally came out after she died.
Right.
But it's not because it wasn't good.
Right.
It was just found.
I have no idea why nobody published it before. I think it's the best thing I've ever read by her.
Wow.
I loved every second of it. The acting for this.
Phenomenal.
10.
Wow.
10. Set, 10. Sound, 10. Costumes, 10.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I don't know whether that's because it was a brand. I think I've also told you guys that the first time I ever see anything, I'm way more of a gracious audience member. Yes. And then after I've seen it, I become a little bit harsher in my grading.
But for your first time?
But for my first time, I loved everything about it. Let me tell you a little bit about the history of Peninsula Players. just so you can, check them out. I would definitely say go on vacation, go up there and go do it. So anyway, it has a history which is as captivating as the plays staged at the theater during the past 89 years.
Wow.
It began simply with 2 planks and a passion.
That is so cute.
That's so beautiful. Patrons have returned year after year, drawn by the theater's tradition of providing exceptionally professional productions of classic and contemporary literature. They are also delighted by the talent of its acting company and the theater's serene location across the shores of Green Bay. These people had a passion and a dream, and look what they did, and look what they have now.
But isn't that part of theater?
It's so beautiful.
To not just be inspired by the production, but the people putting on the production.
Absolutely. It was such an incredible experience. It is 2 thumbs up for the 3. Put your thumbs up. 4 thumbs up for the location. I cannot tell you how beautiful. I cannot speak highly about just what a wonderful experience it was. But also they do good theater as well.
Wow, what a recommendation.
Really, really great. Really a lot of fun.
Until next time, this is just me.
And me.
Talking to you from the wing.
I also went to see something else. We also went to see a place called the Northern Sky Theater. Brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant.